Facebook world. Welcome to the ever present coffee chat. And yet again, it is me and Dan because Andrew has abandoned us. We're trying a new setup, guys, so let me know what you think. We're trying to do a coffee chat while having coffee and chatting. So, hence the couches instead of the wall. But we're going to have a really, really interesting conversation today regarding alternative energy. So green energy, alternative energy. I think we were all kind of shocked on Sunday when we went hours and hours and hours and hours and hours without electricity. However, before we unpack that, we have two amazing guests. It's going to be Jake Barkhazen and Marisia Robus. I'll talk about them a little later. I'd like to introduce my fellow colleague, Daniel. How you doing?
Good, thanks on yourself, Khali. How's your
Great.
weekend?
It was good. It was quiet because
Load shedding.
load shedding forever. Yes.
You guys go through the worst, hey? So some of us, the special type of citizens,
Okay. Okay.
so we don't get load shedded actually. Hopefully they do not find the address and pinpoint us, but we do not get load
I
shedded.
was about to say the feds is watching. You might not want to mention you to get load shedded.
Yeah, but it's all good, hey? It's all good. I'm absolutely looking forward to discussing it with Marissa and Jade. I know Jade has a unique type deal that he's working on,
Yes.
and he will be coming to Johannesburg. So that's pretty cool. I am looking forward to the events coming as well. It's going to be a good line of events we're having throughout the week, huh?
Okay. Speaking of events, as you know, these coffee chats are both informative and also we let you know about what's happening for the remainder of the week. You want to give us a rundown of the events?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And let us know who's joining us on today's coffee chat, where you joining us from, how load shedding's impacting you. It would be quite interesting to find out. But looking at events, so on the 15th of April, which was this Saturday, I think the Cape Town team had a fully packed event. Looking at the deals they currently doing, they joint venture with Darren Francis, the Investor of the Year winner.
Yes.
So for everyone that is doing a deal, please make sure you are entering the Investor of the Year awards. We are having live judging this Wednesday for anyone that has done a deal between 2021, I think, and now. It will be interesting to see all the deals happening. Make sure you are checking out the website below. So we are having that. And then looking further this Thursday, together business partners, as a partnership event, we are having a green funding event. So if you are playing in that space, looking to get finances, looking to understand business partners, their commercial model, it would be an awesome event if you can attend. And if you are in Joburg this Saturday, myself, Ansel Walker, Kuma from BSA Attorneys are having a full day, 1 day workshop for all individuals that are looking to kickstart their property journey or have started and feeling stuck. They've bought 3 to 5 properties, not sure how to buy more. Please make sure you are joining this event. It would be awesome to network with you, to spend a full day around tax structures. How do you finance your next opportunities? How do you run the numbers? And tag anyone you feel would benefit from that event. So I think looking down on the 22nd of April in Peter Maritzburg for all of our members down that side. We are having an event with Absa Bank. Our area management manager Tando is having Sally from Absa Bank talking about the different areas to invest in, the key areas, the up and coming areas within that said area, which I feel is handy. And then we are having a SAP and Women's event with Marisia Robus. I'm sure she will talk about it a bit later on. Looking at the different alternative investments that you can pursue if you are playing in the industry. And yeah, I think that's enough.
I was about to go, wow, that is a lot of events. But as you know, we are trying to help you guys on your property journey. So we always have a jam packed month of just events upon events. And because we do it nationwide, you do not have an excuse. You can't just be going to work, to Cape Town. We have an event there too. We have an event all over the country. You just need to check which city that the event that you would like to enter is actually happening. So, guys, you know the ongoing war between Johannesburg and Cape Town, and I would like to know who's winning. So please let me know in the chat box where you're from. I see Kuma, who's always just ever so ever
Ever
to talk,
present,
ever
Kuma.
present, just lingering about. He's saying joining from Bruno Samar attorneys. Fortunately, we have an amazing boss, so we have backup power in our office. Nobody likes Shikuma. But everybody else, please let me know where you guys are from, and I just want to know: is Joburg winning in terms of people who are viewing, or Cape Town, who are always ever so bougie, are the ones that are winning? But yeah, that is a lot of events.
Yeah.
We have a hectic month ahead of us.
Yeah, but I think it's always good as players in the industry to always be aware of what we face
Mm-hmm.
in the areas we practice and what other investors, more experienced investors, are doing to combat such struggles
Mm-hmm.
for us to implement as well and utilize in your property portfolios and what have you, huh? Because I know we spoke to Arnold and they having an interesting fund they releasing to help investors, finance generators, and
Yes.
um, other smaller players entering the industry. And it's always good to be aware and to understand how to utilize such things.
Yes, and that is going to be happening on the 20th of April, this coming Thursday. So if you want to know how to enter the property market at a larger scale in terms of commercial properties and also get green funding or alternative energy funding, please attend that one. I'm going to be hosting. This tablet in my hand is for you guys because I want to know where you guys are from. I want to know where you're going to be joining us from, and that's why I have a laptop in my hand. However, I told you guys that we have amazing guests, and we're going to be introducing one of them right now. She's a phenomenal lady. She's one of the very few um, inspectors, property inspectors in the country. She's one of the few female ones. And I'm going to let her introduce herself even further. Marisia Robus, how are you doing, lovely lady?
Hello, Khali. Thank you very much, Daniel and Khali, for having me. Yes, my name is Marisia Robus. I'm the owner of Gauteng Property Inspections. Khali, I'm the only female property inspector in the country, and I'm also the only female roof inspector in the country, and I'm also an asbestos inspector. And I love saving property investors money when they use my report to negotiate a better price.
Better put some respect on Marissa's
I
name,
really
huh?
should. Like that portfolio is quite it's quite extensive. I need to put some respect on your name. So Marisha, as one of the I was going to say one of the only asbestos, but you're the only female asbestos inspector. That's quite interesting. What I want to know from you, and you guys at home can start putting in your questions for Marisha in terms of alternative energy and also renovations in your properties. The main thing right now, Marisha, is alternative energy. So in the properties that you've inspected, where do you think people are leaning to? Are we going more towards solar or are we doing UPSs and generators? And which one is the better alternative?
Kali, in terms of uh, alternative power generating, a lot of people are going the solar option if they can afford it. But what is nice is that there are a lot of companies that are offering rent to buy options or just plain rental options. And then the banks and people like business partners are now also funding the solar panels. So that could really save you a lot in the long run. In terms of generators, I find that a lot of people have solar panels as well as a backup generator because unfortunately, um, we we just sometimes we have rain and then your solar panels are not charged. And as you yourself said, we had tremendous load shedding this past weekend. It was an absolute nightmare. And eventually the solar panels and the batteries and everything run out. So a lot of people do have backup generators, but with the price of petrol and diesel, that
Mm.
tends to be very expensive. At my son's work, they use about 100,000 rands worth of diesel every 3 weeks to run their generator because they're not able to run solar panels. So that it is a huge expense. And yes, it is unfortunately what you can afford, but there are a lot of options for financing out there at the moment.
Okay, that's actually quite interesting in terms of obviously. finance plays a big part of it in terms of what it is that you actually can afford versus what would be the ideal one. But in terms of the properties you viewed, what would you say are the energy efficient ways that our viewers at home could be more energy efficient? I know, like they always say, wrap an electric blanket around your geyser. Would you say that's also like a good way to save energy?
Yes, most definitely, Khali, because that will keep the water in your geyser warmer for longer, and also to insulate the hot water pipes. Because we're going into winter, so we know the roof cavity is very cold and the pipes get very cold. But the problem at the moment with all the load shedding is that people are using a lot more energy heating up their hot water than they did before. In our home, we had a timer on the geyser where we would only switch the geyser on from 4 to 6 in the morning and 4 to 6 in the afternoon. So there was hot water for the evening baths and showers, and hot water in the morning to shower. But now, with the load shedding changing so often, power not coming on when they say it will come on, we've had to disconnect the timer. Because you never know, you go to bed thinking the geyser is going to go on at 4 o'clock, and then you have load shedding from 2 o'clock until 6:30 and no hot water. So at the moment, we're using our geyser a lot more, or shall I say, our geyser is on a lot more than it was before. So for that reason, it's a very good idea to rather go for a solar geyser or a gas geyser. A long time ago, probably 10 years ago, the gas geysers were not so great because the pressure you got from the geysers was really not great for a shower. But nowadays, the gas geysers are fantastic. They give you wonderful pressure. And the nice thing about it is that you don't waste all of that cold water that's in the pipes come out of the shower first before you get to the hot water. Gas geysers heat up the water and you get hot water straight away. So in terms of the geysers, which is one of the big usages of electricity in your house, I would suggest going gas or solar. But another item which uses a huge amount of electricity, obviously we all know that, is a stove. So we have a gas hob but an electric oven. But I use my electric oven maybe once a month, really. I don't use the oven at all. But if you are due for a new oven or stove, rather buy one with a gas oven as well. Save you a lot of money. And also, a gas stove cooks so much quicker. So we've done away with our electric kettle. We only have a gas kettle now, and that definitely does save on energy. And even if the power's off, you can have a cup of coffee.
That is really interesting. Personally, I did not know that something called a gas geyser existed. However, this is why we have people like you, Marisia, who will inform us of these new and alternative ways to save energy or to try and get off the grid. Because, like you said, the way these schedules are working, it's completely array. In terms of solar panels, like you had said, are there any requirements? Do you need to be, the roof, does it need to be a certain way? Is there anything that's specific if somebody's watching us right now and goes, well, I think it's time for me to get a solar? What would you suggest as a property inspector?
Okay, Khali, so the most important thing everybody must remember is that more than likely your roof trusses were not designed to take solar panels. Now you're putting extra weight on the roof, and a lot of people are putting 10, 20, 30 solar panels on the roof. And one may not weigh a lot, but if you add 10 or 20 solar panels, it is a tremendous amount of weight on your roof trusses. You must get a roof engineer out to inspect the roof trusses and to confirm that you can put solar panels on. If your roof trusses are old or they're starting to buckle or they're not very stable, the roof engineer will give you remedials. In other words, he will say, add timber here, add timber there, and then you can fit solar panels on the roof. This is specifically important because if the roof trusses are going to collapse under the weight of the solar panels, insurance will not pay. And if you live in a sectional title complex and the body corporate wants to put on solar panels, or you are a trustee and people are asking, can they put solar panels on? And the trustees say, yes, you can, as an individual owner, put solar panels on. Ensure that you obtain a roof certificate certifying that the roof trusses are okay, or what remedials must be done, and then a roof certificate must be issued, because the trustees, and well, not the trustees, the body corporate is responsible for the roof. So if the people put solar panels on again and the roof trusses collapse, insurance won't pay. And as you can imagine, a collapsing roof will be very expensive to repair. Then the people must remember another thing. If you have asbestos roof sheets, you cannot fit solar panels because you are not allowed to drill through asbestos roof sheets. At the moment, the asbestos laws state that asbestos are tolerated and allowed as long as they're not damaged and they are painted. So the minute they break or you drill through it, you are releasing the asbestos fibers, which is the big problem and which is a serious health risk. So asbestos roof sheets, no go on solar panels.
That is ridiculously informative, Marisia. I knew not of any of these things. But before I let you go, I just want Daniel to let me know about the events that are happening, and then I'm going to ask you just a few more questions.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for that, Marissa. I think I had the same conversation regarding the insurance with my insurance broker on the property we're looking to buy now, or we about to take transfer on, making sure that every single thing about your property is in line with what you're allowed to do regarding zoning and different sorts of rights, because you might have insurance, but if they do investigate and it's not up to standards, you have to pay out a huge chunk of it. But for those that just joined us, ladies and gents, welcome to the coffee chat. And looking at the couple of events we have this Wednesday, we are having live judging. If you are in Joburg for the Investor of the Year Awards, make sure you are emailing support@sapropertynetwork.com to ensure that you do send through an inquiry through to Simone that you would like to participate, you would like to enter Investor of the Year, and you would like to enter your deal, whether it's your first deal, whether it's you've got a couple of deals, whether it's a big, small deal. We are going to be having Patricia Chitema also entering her deal. She's got an amazing student accommodation deal in Pretoria. She is entering, so I'm super interested in finding out a bit more details about that. And looking further down the line, this Thursday, we are having a business partner event. If you are in Joburg, open to the general public. Make sure you are checking out our events page down below. It will be all around green funding for businesses, but not just for the big players. Yes, if you do play in the commercial space, it would be interesting understanding they model, how they finance deals, how they can help you with regards to addressing some of the energy issues that we are facing. But also for the smaller players, they are releasing a fund to help afford things like generators and what have you. So I'm super interested in hearing about that. And if you are in Joburg, this week, Saturday, we are having a full day workshop with myself, Andrew Walker, the entire team. Jade Barkhazen will be there as well, talking around how do you, if you are looking to kickstart your property journey, how do you do it right? If you have started, what structures should you be buying your properties in? How do you finance different deals and different structures? And if you are stuck, how do you go to the next level? Again, it's a full day, 1 day workshop. Highly recommend you do attend. And for our members that are in Pietermaritzburg on the 22nd of April, we are having Sally from Absa Bank talking around the areas you should be investing in Pietermaritzburg, and it's going to be more details on where you should be buying. And together with our area manager Tando, it will be an amazing event. Hey? And then there is a Sapin Women webinar, Marisia, that you are hosting. Hey? On the 25th of April, all around different sorts of investments available out there. Do you want to maybe touch upon it quickly?
Yes, sure, Daniel. It's actually on the 3rd of May. So what we do with SAP and Women is every second month we have a live in-person event in the different centers. And then the other months we have an online event with fabulous speakers that all our ladies around the country can join. So we've got Zwanda Nana who's going to be chatting to us, and she's an amazing young lady. She's just absolutely amazing. She's a personal finance enthusiast. She's got a YouTube channel and she's also into property. And if you follow her and you see what she has done with her personal finances, how much she has saved already this year, how much she's invested, and how her wealth has increased. But she's also just ventured into student accommodation, and she's got a very diverse property portfolio. And most
awesome.
interesting of all is she's actually busy with her master's in engineering management. She works in the heavy equipment industry, and she's a property investor, loves saving money, loves making money, and I'm looking forward to learning more from her. So ladies, please join us wherever you are. It'll be on Zoom, and we're going to have a fantastic evening.
Geez, that sounds amazing. And everyone, make sure you are on our events page. And that's where you'll get all the links and the directions on how to register for such events. Huh? But I think that is done, Khali. Huh?
And remember, it's only for the ladies. So we lost at our previous event. We had some dudes. Oh, but that sounds very interesting. Please no, ladies only.
Yes, Marisia. Let them know, ladies only, on the 25th of April, right?
No, 3rd of May.
3rd of May.
No. Yes, on the 3rd of May, we are going to be having this lovely lady. And I love that she doesn't even fit the stereotype of a woman. She actually loves saving money, because we're always synonymous with spending it.
Don't worry, Khali. She also spends, but she saves a lot.
Ah, that is awesome. But before I let you go, I just wanted to know, in your line of work, what would you say, your top 3 tips are when it comes to renovating?
So, Khali, the most important thing is that you must have an idea of what do you want to do with a property. So I always, when I inspect for an investor, say, what are you going to do? Are you going to do student accommodation, multi-let? Are you going to flip? What do you want to do? Are you going to live there? What is your aim? Because that makes a big difference. Are you going to put in the 250 Rand a square meter tiles, or are you going to go for the cheaper tiles? So very important, know what is the end game of your renovation. And then the second thing is you have to draw up the most detailed budget you have ever done in your life. And if you want to get a quote or get quotes from contractors, on my website, the people can download a finishing schedule. And on that finishing schedule, everything is detailed. What bricks are going to be used? Who's buying the bricks? You or the contractor? And that is what is very important, because that is where the budgets normally end up going out of the window. Because you think, okay, the contractor quoted for tiling, and then he comes back and says, no, but I'm not buying the tiles. You've got to buy the tiles. Now, all of a sudden, you didn't budget for it. So go into the most pedantic detail you can think of. Be over pedantic. Who's paying for this? Who's paying for that? Is he paying to remove the rubble from the site when he has broken down walls? Because a lot of times rubble removal of construction material can be expensive. And if the contractor says, oh, I didn't actually quote enough, he just says, I didn't include it. And sign that specification schedule with your contract with a builder. Do not do alterations on WhatsApp or a chat or whatever. Sign a contract. On my website, you can download a contract as well. And do not take any chances with that. It's a business agreement. It's an arrangement. Detail everything, sign a contract, and stick to your plan. And if anything extra needs to be done, You want a quote before the time. Don't take any chances with that. And if any walls are to be built, roof changes are to be made, you need an engineer certificate for when it's done. Any changes to the plumbing and electrical and new windows, you need electrical COC, glazing COC, plumbing COC. Insist on those things and tell the contractor before the time, I'm going to require these engineer certificates from you, these certificates of compliance, before I will pay you your final money.
So Marisia, you always just giving these amazing tidbits of knowledge, and I understand you have an online course that you're working. Will we find some of this information there? And could you just tell us a little bit about your online course?
Okay, Khali, so my online course is about maintenance and how and when to do maintenance. Because when I do inspections for property investors, they always buy the worst house in the suburb. And why is that? Because they can get it for the cheapest price. So I'm very concerned that my property investors must not lose money when they one day sell their property. And a lot of times I say to people, but if you just did this, it would have cost you $500 and you wouldn't have had to replace the gutters. And they say, really? That's all it would have cost, $500? Or they don't know what products to use. And then they use the wrong products. And then you end up just redoing the maintenance all the time. So it's a maintenance program that I'm almost finished recording. And it will be more than 30 hours giving people information on your roof, all the facets of your roof, your geyser. There's a little thing, 167 Rand at Builders Warehouse, this size, that you can replace in your geyser every 3 years, and your geyser will never burst. How to do maintenance. And the other thing that people must remember is that solar panels need maintenance. Do you know what maintenance? You can't just put the solar panels up there, leave them there, and think in 10 years' time they're still going to work. You need to clean them. But there's a specific way in cleaning them. You can't get up there with a squeegee and your sunlight liquid and clean the solar panels. You're going to mess it up. So maintenance is important, everything. And it is very, very important that people do maintenance correctly. And there are check sheets and everything, more than 30 hours of videos that you can watch and say, okay, there's something wrong with my gutters. What's wrong? Go and watch the video. There's a check sheet and off you go and do maintenance on your gutters. But you can also use it if you get a contractor in to do maintenance on your roof or whatever. You can go and watch the chapter on the roof. See what I say and say to him, are you going to do that when you do the maintenance? If he hums and haws, then say, no, my mate, this is how I want the maintenance to be done. And then after he's done it, you can climb up and check, did he do it? Because you've got a guideline on how the maintenance must be done.
That is really interesting. And for those of you at home who want to know how to get access to this amazing informative course, you can just contact support at SA Property, and we'll put the link in the chat box.
Perfect, Khali. And it will be for sale for SAPN members at a special price very soon. And I really believe that everybody will benefit from this course because you are going to prolong the life of your property, and you are definitely going to make more money when you sell it one day.
Fantastic. And Daniel, you had a question?
I think Marisia did answer it. I think the big fear I have, Marisia, when investing in property is, yes, you want to buy below market value, but you not like sell in 5 years' time and there's R1 million worth of renovations you need to do. And my question was around that course you're having. Does it break down, like you mentioned, the different types of investments? So if I'm buying a block of flats, does it go into as much details as what does a maintenance plan look like for that sort of investment versus a small multi-let? And yeah, if you get what I mean.
Daniel, yes, it will be available like that, and it will also be split. You must remember, if you own a flat or a townhouse, you're only responsible for the inside of the flat or the townhouse. The body corporate is responsible for the outside. So there will be a section which will be for property owners who own a flat or a townhouse, and they're only concerned about the inside. Then there is the complete course, which is if you own a block of flats or a house and you are responsible for maintenance inside and outside. And there will be things for investors to look out for. But whenever I do a pre-purchase inspection for investors, I give them a lot of maintenance guidance as well. And I also do maintenance inspections where I draw up an entire plan for body corporates, commercial, industrial. Just out of interest sake, one of my clients who has saved the most money when buying a property got me to do a maintenance inspection before he bought an industrial property. And he saved 3.5 million Rand on the purchase price because the gutters were rusted through, and that was 1.8 million Rand to replace. There was asbestos roof sheets, which he didn't know there were, and they were broken. So the seller had to replace that. And the waterproofing on the flat roofs were finished because they never maintained it. And the seller, he insisted that the seller replaced all of the waterproofing as well. So 3.5 million Rand he saved on the purchase price.
That is fantastic. That is absolutely phenomenal. But Marisia, we will be seeing you on Thursday, I hope. But thank you so much. I want to say thank you for all of the information in terms of how to be more energy efficient, and also what angles in terms of alternative energy, if you want to go that route, would best suit the individual. So I want to say thank you so much for that, Marisia.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Keep well.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions regarding Marisia's course, please contact support at SA Property. The link will be in the chat box. I'm waiting for you guys to just let me know where it is that you guys are from. Be more interactive. We do this every week. However, our next guest is Jade Barkhuizen, who is going to have a very, very interesting opportunity that he would like to introduce to you guys. So Jade, how are you doing this afternoon?
Very well, thank you, Khali. Nice to be on here again.
Yes, awesome. Okay, so Jade, I understand that you have the opportunity for something called a rural new town. Like, could you please explain why it's a unique opportunity?
So, Khali, basically, we've got a development that's about 20 minutes outside of Port Elizabeth or Gqeberha or GQ. It's a bit easier to pronounce for most people. And it's a development that's in the rural part of the Eastern Cape. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's essentially a circle around cities in South Africa, which is the urban part of a city. And outside of that urban edge, outside of that circle, is really the rural part of that province. And typically developments don't get done there. The municipalities don't provide services in those areas. And Dr. Chris Mulder, who is a world-renowned architect and developer, has identified an amazing opportunity to develop rural South Africa. Now, an interesting fact, Khali, is that 40% of South Africans live in rural South Africa, but developments aren't getting done in rural South Africa. It's only all about the urban and densifying the urban areas in South Africa. But we think there's a massive opportunity here. And Crossways, the development, is the opportunity we're going to be presenting to our network and to investors. And I'm actually flying up to Joburg on Thursday evening for the networking event to tell people about it. I'm very excited about it.
That's fantastic. So I understand that the reason why it's even more unique is because you guys are up to 90% off grid. Is that what you're planning to do?
Some of the houses, Khali, green energy is a massive part of the entire development. In fact, when you build a house there, you have to have solar on the property. You actually don't have an option, which is nice. And we're completely off the grid with water, which I don't think, in fact, I've never seen a development that's completely off water, not dependent on municipal water at all, especially in the Eastern Cape. That's massive, right? So we're under very big water restrictions. Our dams are basically empty. So we're seeing this development as a massive opportunity going forward.
So, in terms of being off grid for both electricity and water, you essentially would be your own municipal firm, right? You run your own town.
Pretty much, Khali. So what's interesting is, as I mentioned, the municipalities don't actually provide sewer and roads and water, electricity, really in the rural developments. Yes, there is electricity on the development, but essentially they've almost got their own municipality because they take care and they paid for the installation of all the services, which is roads, water, electricity. But they are still part of Kocha municipality, but essentially they're pretty much almost off grid, and that's really amazing. I think our whole country is going that way, and we need developments like this to really take our country forward.
That's very interesting, Kate. And you mentioned that you're going to be here for the event on Thursday. How long are you going to stay here, just in case somebody would like, to have a one-on-one with you or have a meeting to discuss this opportunity?
Yeah, Kelly. So we are looking for investors to invest in 5 houses that we're actually busy building, myself and my partners. I'll be flying up on Thursday afternoon for the networking event. Obviously, I'll be there the whole evening, and I will be staying there until Saturday evening. I'll also be part of the one-day workshop on Saturday. But I am happy to arrange one-on-ones on Friday. I'll be available the whole day for anyone who would like to invest in the deal as an angel investor and also get free coaching. We're including free property development coaching if you angel invest in this deal. So pretty exciting stuff.
All righty then.
Some good stuff, huh?
That is some good stuff, Daniel.
Awesome. So yeah, Jay, thanks so much. It's going to be awesome for those of you who are in Joburg. You will be able, let me get this right, you will be able to join the one-day workshop event. So make sure you are tagging as many people as possible. It's a full-day event with myself, Andrew, Jade, Kuma, talking about how do you take your property journey to the next level. Whether you are starting out and you want to know how do you best understand how to tell if an opportunity is worth investing in. How do you do your due diligence? How do you know the to market value? How do you do area research, running the numbers? And for those of you who have properties, 3 to 5 properties, looking to go to the next level, it's going to be an awesome day. I'm going to talk about tax and so much other things. So it's going to be quite cool. Hey, Khali, I think that is all, unless we have
Yes.
questions in the comment section down below.
No, they are, the viewers are very shy today. They are very shy in terms of questions, which is perfectly fine because if they want to actually ask in-depth questions, then they can join us on the 20th of April at the Branson Country Club.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you are kept up to date with all the events we're having around your local cities. It's going to be awesome networking with you all, understanding what your unique challenges are, and I think we'll see you all in events. Hey,
Absolutely. So hopefully, Andrew will join us next week. If not, you'll be seeing my lovely place, my lovely face, as always. And yeah, I guess you'll be around. Thank you so much for joining us. And from me to you,